Hello, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. This is a general collective energy reading. This is just looking at the energy coming off from that new moon in the sign of Libra, and it is coming off from that new moon energy as the sun is getting ready to transit from the sign of Libra into the sign of Scorpio. So here we go. We're going to brace ourselves for this, correct? All right, let's see what energies wants to show up. Here we go. First card up is Battle of the Blues. So I'm not surprised to see this card. I did have this vibe or this feeling that I felt like that new moon in the sign of Libra would be a little emotional for some people. I did feel like there would be a lot of things that were coming up where they were going to have to feel their feelings. I feel like that's as a result of, Libra is about balance, and it was this new moon was happening at the end of a cycle, at the end of Libra season, versus where a lot of times we see the new moon either at the beginning or the middle, but in this experience, it was at the end. So it was really talking about ending this cycle by bringing through what's right, fair, and just. I did feel like there would be a lot of, like I said, feelings, a lot of emotions running up. Creative wonderment is on the bottom of the deck, and this says follow your passion. And I feel like it would explain a lot, right? I feel like people were really looking at, the balance in their life, what was working, what was not, what resonates, what does not, and really standing in their power when it comes to bringing balance into their life or into that area of their life. You could look at where 28 degrees of Libra is in your house and see, I mean, in your chart, and see what house that is for you and how that resonates, for the energy that's been playing out. But again, we are at this really, I feel, pivotal point because we go from the Libra energy into the Scorpio energy, and Scorpio is quite an intense energy. Scorpio is about transformation. So, whatever was recognized or discovered or accepted during that new moon phase, that energy that was playing out, I feel it brings us to a point of transformation where now it's time to go through that transformation and that change, right? So I'll be bringing readings for the monthly for the sign of Scorpio for all 12 signs. But so there's the Queen of Air showing up first and foremost. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit. There we go. All right, so you can see the cards. So I feel the Queen of Swords is talking about that air sign energy, the news, the information, just having conversations. I feel like I feel like a lot of people, and I did feel this, I believe, when I was looking at the air sign energies, where they're used to logic, things of the mind, thinking, facts, communicating, that sort of energy. But I do feel like during a couple air sign readings, I did pick up where they were really out of their comfort zone because they were feeling some feelings, going through some emotional experiences, that sort of thing. I am feeling like this is now where the transformation phase comes through. Seven of air at the bottom of the deck, another air sign energy, right? So this is Seven of Swords, it's Seven of Swords, but it's called Seven of Air in this deck. That talks about deception. It talks about sneaky behavior patterns. It talks about things that are done in the dark. Like typically the first three things you would think when you've seen the Seven of Swords is liar, lying, thieving, cheating energy in that, but it is definitely a deceptive energy. When I see the Queen of Air showing up like this, I feel like someone has gained a lot of wisdom. I feel like someone is doing some shadow work, like behind the scenes. They're really thinking about things. They are, and I feel like they're thinking about the direction they're taking, the choices they're going to make, that sort of energy. But I feel like with whatever transpired over that new moon, could have even gone as far back as the full moon, which was in the sign of Aries a few weeks before the new moon came transiting through, where they were really seeing things that it was just time to make choices and decisions on. Wow, Queen of Air to the King of Earth. This is talking about wanting to change things in their physical realm. And now I feel like they're in that space of behind the scenes, really thinking about it, taking the knowledge, the wisdom, the insight, the information from what they know, what they've learned, what they've seen, what they've accepted, and now they want to apply it to the earthly realm, right? They want to apply these things to have some sort of impact on their physical realm. This can be within relationships, it can be within your finances, whatever it is, but it's something in your 3D realm, in your physical realm. It's an earthly thing. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Water. I feel like someone has gone through some sort of emotional cleansing, purging, healing. Maybe we're kind of feeling down in the dumps or feeling some feelings in some situations, but I feel like they're being reignited. I'm feeling three signs out here already. I'm seeing the earth, I'm seeing fire with that creative wonderment, which is right over here, and the Queen of Air, and you see the sword over there with the water, right? So there would be all four elements. So I do feel like there is this balancing out of these things where at one time they may have felt very turbulent. I don't feel like it was a very long, turbulent experience or situation or thing like that. But I definitely feel like it was, having to really be honest with oneself and, look at some things and really accept and recognize and know that they were things that needed to shift, to change. I do feel like for some amount of time, and it's going to vary differently for everyone, that they could have really felt down and out, sad, depressed, but I feel like that part of that cycle, or that cycle, is now over. I feel that creative wonderment is talking about the ignition, the reigniting of their drive, their passion, their desires to move forward towards something more solid, more stable, based on truth, clarity, that sort of information. So let's keep going and we'll see. Please leave me a comment and let me know if this message is resonating with you and how you're feeling with this energy as it is moving through the last, by the time this is posted, it's probably already out of Libra energy and into the Scorpio energy, where that transformation is going to take place. And look, the eight. So this is nice. The Queen of Air to the King of Earth and the Eight of Earth. The Eight of Earth talks about being focused. It talks about putting in the hard work. Bottom of the deck, to receive a wish fulfillment. Nine of Water, right? This is, again, more water energy. So all the elements are out here. This feels to me like somebody who has gone through a cycle, like I said, of that lower vibrational energy, is coming out of that energy. And now they're balancing all the realms, the realm of their drive, their ambition, their passion, the drive, the realm of their thoughts, their mind, their communication, the realm of the earth, right? What they want to bring to the physical realm, and the realm of water. They're, more balanced out in their emotions, their feelings, they're within their relationships, or this is what they're looking to co-create. This is what they're focused on. This is what they are working towards. So let's keep moving. Next card that comes up is Justice card. That is Libra energy, right? I feel like there has been a very, very transformative energy that swept through during this new moon. It feels to me like it was just like this total aha moment, or this moment of a real eye-opening experience of some sort, of really being, I feel so strongly that someone was really looking at things and being honest with themselves about the balance of these situations in their life and whether they were or were not balanced. I'm feeling this message wouldn't, the justice card wouldn't be showing up if things had been balanced, because the justice card shows up when there has been an imbalance or an injustice that has been done, and now it's time for that to change. Here comes the page of earth, and this is talking about messages, news, information, opportunities, that sort of thing in regards to moving forward. Like I feel if somebody has been waiting for an opportunity, this can be where that clearly shows up for you now. I'm sorry, I don't know what the heck. But anyhow, let's keep moving. I do feel like this is underneath the page of earth. Page of earth to the 10 of fire. Look, this is a site, they're burning off that old cycle. This is exactly what this is, right? You can see right here, they're burning off this old cycle. You see? And then it's leading them again, another wish fulfillment card. This is a wish fulfillment. This is about healing as well. When you see the star energy showing up, I'm going to say this because I am getting ready in the very near future to put some readings out when it comes to Pluto is the planet of transformation, and it has just began its round in the sign of Aquarius, which this star card is, right? And this transit, that Pluto is going to deconstruct, to reconstruct anything. It's going to burn away cycles that are not in alignment with that Aquarian energy. And this transit is a 20-year transit. So this is something that's fresh. Well, it's not fresh and new. Pluto was in there, dipped back out, and or retrograded a little bit to go back over some energy, or experiences or situations. Now it's direct, and it's going to be going direct. It's not going to be coming out of that sign of Aquarius until like the year, I think, 2044. So, brace yourself for this. I am going to be putting out readings in regards to that. So right now it's at 1 degrees. You can look at your chart and see where 1 degrees of Aquarius is, and that will give you an indication of what house that is for you, what house is being strongly activated. And be mindful, like if you know anything about your birth chart and things like that, you would know this. But for those who don't, I definitely recommend that learn about that, because it's so important, and it's like the roadmap to your life, right? But if you are familiar with birth charts, you're going to recognize that this Pluto is at 1 degree right now of Aquarius, right? And as it's moving forward, it can be covering several different houses in your chart for you. It's not necessarily going to be in the same area of your life through the entire transit. For some of you, it could, but for everybody, it won't be that way. It can cover more than one. It could cover two houses. It could even go cover three houses. So you'd need to have your birth chart to know that. But I'm going to keep moving and stop rambling on about that. Thank you for your patience. I do appreciate you. Let's get some clarity on this Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is clarified by the Knight of Wands. Somebody's taking action, and I feel like they're taking quick action. And I feel like it's as a result of, there's the Hangman, and it's in reverse. So to me, this is showing up as somebody is now ready to, like, I feel their fire, their passion, their drive, their ambition is being restored. If you felt like you were in like such a funk, or like hanging in limbo, or things were stagnant and stuck, you were going through some sort of enlightenment. And I feel like you were kind of like held in limbo, waiting for you to see something differently, or for something to be shown to you so that you could see something clearly. That sort of energy, I feel like that has happened. I feel like that's possibly what puts you into the Battle of the Blues and into that cycle. But I do feel that cycle for you is over. Now I feel the transformation stage is here, where you're going to, take that energy, and you're going to shift the direction from the lower vibration into the higher vibration. You're going to turn that pain into power, is what I'm feeling is happening here. And that would be, indication of why this Knight of Wands is showing up out here. So let's get some clarity on this King of Pentacles. Tell us more about the King of Pentacles. I wish the lighting was better because these are such beautiful cards. Yeah, someone recognized something was toxic. I feel like this was quite a process of having to recognize or see something toxic, see it for what it was. I'm even feeling like by the time someone recognized what it was, it took them a minute to get out of this. Like, I feel like, for some of you, you were bound to a situation and couldn't see the way through or see the way out. Look at star energy again. Beautiful. I love this. I love the high vibe and energy. I'm a fan of the high vibes. And this talked about healing. So again, it's giving me somebody has really gone through something and done some very deep soul searching and healing on a soul level. And again, I'm feeling that energy of where their passion, their ambition is being reignited, where they're ready to take action. I feel by liberating themselves, I feel whatever they were bound to had some sort of, because it is clarifying the King of Earth, so this could be within a home, a family, a connection, a job, a marriage, that anything like that. It could have been something like that. I feel like, where they all of a sudden it was like waking up and recognizing like this just isn't, I feel it on a soul level. I know it, but not necessarily knowing what to do about it, and going through some cycle where they were really feeling some feelings, really reminiscing over choices, decisions, and really trying to brainstorm how to get out of this situation, how to release the whatever they were bound to, or break free, liberate themselves from whatever they had felt bound to. I do feel that is what is going to be transforming during this Scorpio season. I feel like it's already started happening. I feel like somebody is already taking action or making moves or working behind the scenes to figure some stuff out, get their mind clear, gain some information, that sort of energy. And I feel like they're ready to, like, I felt like saying pounce, to take action, to move this forward, to, break free of whatever this was that had them trapped, bound, stuck in a toxic situation. It clearly is showing up with the devil here that there was some sort of being connected to a toxic situation. Clarifying the Eight of Pentacles is the High Priestess. So this is where someone's intuition really kicked in, and they really looked at what they were focused on and working on, and what that was a return on that investment for whatever that was. And I feel like they recognized it was pulling them in two different directions. It wasn't leading them forward. It was just keeping them like confused, distracted, disoriented, pulled in different directions, that sort of thing. And I feel like somebody trusted their intuition or tapped in and started listening to their intuition and seen a situation for what it really was. And, you can clearly see that Justice card is out here. So, like I've said, there has been an injustice in a situation. It could have been a temptation of some sort that got somebody caught up, trapped, bound, stuck into something, and then they ultimately had to figure it out and find their way out of that, and to just like not accept that, to not accept being stuck, trapped, and bound to them, that situation or those circumstances. But ultimately, it's not easy to get out of things once you get into them, right? And I feel like that's what that cycle was all about. I feel like ultimately, though, that cycle, we've seen it with the Ten of Wands, is being burned away. It's completing out, it's ending. So let's get some clarity on the Justice card. Give us some energy, some information, clarity on this Justice card. Give us energy, clarity, and information. Justice card. Wow, I cannot make this up. Eight of Waters. This is walking away. This is what the Justice is, walking away. Judgment card at the bottom of the deck. You see all that fire. You see things, situations being cast aside, and you seeing somebody being elevated up. And I feel like there is judgment here for a situation. I feel like when you want that, right? When you want better, when you put the time, energy, and effort into working towards having something better, right? Like I feel like there is sacrifices that get made through that process where like if if anyone who has had been a big drinker or something like that, and then they don't drink anymore, right? That being around energies that are constantly partying or drinking or that sort of thing, right? Those are temptations, right? That can quickly and easily get you caught back up and wrapped into situations. And you also recognize, if you're somebody who has gotten away from that, that you've had to walk away from the people, places, things, situations where that would be a temptation, right? For your greater good. When you want to better yourself, you want to move away from the things that are not assisting and aligning with that betterment of yourself, and releasing that cycle, letting it go. I'm seeing on the bottom of the deck, right? This one already is the high priestess again. You have to trust your intuition when it's time to move forward and walk away. And I'm feeling someone is walking away, because, first of all, I do feel like it's going to be justice being served, but I'm also feeling with that energy, it's like there's no emotional peace, contentment, or, satisfaction or anything like that. I feel in whatever this is that's got them stuck, trapped, bound, and caught up. I feel like there is this recognizing of that energy. So I went to pull or see what one card wanted to pop out for the Queen of Swords to the Knight of Wands, and it was the Magician to the Ten of Cups. So this is somebody who is manifesting their Ten of Cups, their happily ever after, their emotional fulfillment, the healthy connections and relationships, that sort of energy. And it's coming as a result of them closing out a cycle. The World card is showing up here. They're ending whatever this toxic situation is that they have been bound to. And I feel like they are manifesting towards this Ten of Cups. I do feel like this feels, and with, I want to see what's under the Judgment. Underneath the Judgment, look, I cannot make it up. Judgment to the Death card. That's that Scorpio energy. Judgment to the Death card. This is like a judgment call being made that ends. We've seen the world, we're seeing the Death card. It is ending a situation, and underneath it was that Chariot card again. They're ending and completing out a cycle of being pulled back and forth, or really disoriented or pulled in different directions, that sort of thing. It's over. This is what is being completed out. This is what someone's going to be going through, this transformation during Scorpio season in regards to. And I feel like they are literally manifesting this Ten of Cups, this happily ever after. So the next card that comes out to clear the king, to clarify the King of Earth to the Devil card, is the Wheel of Fortune. This is time for change. This is about timing. This is about growth and expansion and moving forward. Six of Pentacles. This is where someone has been in an imbalanced situation where there was too many things. Like I said, you see these hands and they're like, gimme, gimme, gimme. I wish this lighting was better. I really do, because these are such gorgeous cards. I'm sorry about that. Um, but anyhow, yeah, this is where there was too many energies attacking at the same time or coming at someone at the same time. And at some point I feel like they could only hold this energy for so long and take care of this until they were reached a breaking point where they were like, no, no, I can't do this anymore. I don't want, even if they could do this, I don't feel they want to do this, because I don't feel like they're emotionally fulfilled, or satisfied in whatever that was. It was giving this feeling of like making someone sad, like feeling they were just used, abused, taken advantage of, like dealing with a lot of letdowns, sadness, disappointments, that sort of energy. Wow. Wow. Eight of Earth to the High Priestess to the Temperance Angel. A lot of Sagittarius, a lot of Jupiter energy right here. There's a lot of growth that is coming through with this situation. With that Temperance Angel, this is about bringing balance and harmony. I feel like someone's had to be patient. This does feel like it's taken a long time to work through this cycle. I feel like this was about a choice that was made in the past. We got the Lovers card here. you can see there's one that's there and one is just like a ghostly person. Like this was, look, and underneath it is the star card, right? So this is where there was a choice or a decision, that may have looked good on the surface, whether whatever this is, whether it be a relationship, a job opportunity. I feel like there was a choice that was made that wasn't all that it looked, all that glitters is not gold. And I feel like there is a powerful realization about that. I feel like somebody had to gone through some serious healing as a result of it, turning their pain into power. And now there is a path that's being illuminated for them, and it's time for them to make a choice. I feel like this is going to move things quite quickly forward for them. Like this is propelling you onward and upward towards something that's stable, balanced. Again, it's showing a lot of energy that would make me feel this is in regards to relationship. I'm just saying, because the Two of Cups talks about a union, a partnership, right? This is, again, if you, this is could have been very well been an energy that was in a connection or some sort of union or partnership, regardless of if it was a relationship partnership, a business partnership, where the scales were just not balanced. Like I feel one person was all in and one person was like not, it's that's just how it feels to me, and that's just the energy that's showing up. So this is nothing to do with me, nothing personal. I'm just telling you what energies are showing up. So let's look at the justice to the eight. The justice is moving forward, walking away from emotionally unfulfilling situations and choosing a new path. This is that choice card showing up on the table now as a result of some sort of discovery. There's the moon. The moon card talks about things that are hidden, secrets. It talks about it rules the house or the sign of Cancer, which on a collective level talks about our home, our family, the place we feel safe, secure, nurtured, and loved. And I feel like there is an energy that wasn't supportive of that energy. Like there wasn't a solid foundation. Whatever this is, if they weren't feeling safe there, if they weren't feeling secure there, if they weren't feeling nurtured there, if they weren't feeling loved there, like I feel like I really get this strong sense that there was an energy like that wore a mask that made it all look good. Like I said earlier, like not all that glitters is gold. And I feel like someone has recognized and realized that now. What's underneath the moon? Underneath the moon is the Five of Pentacles. This is somebody leaving a situation out in the cold. They're being spiritually guided to move forward so that they can have growth and expansion. This is what this is. This is somebody who wants to grow, expand, evolve, accumulate, create things in the physical realm. And I feel whatever they're stuck, trapped, and bound to, like, is not supportive of that. It just doesn't feel to me like they're supportive of that energy. Like they're not a great give and take or that sort of energy. It's not something that brings balance into a situation, whatever it is that they are, I feel bound to, that they are releasing and severing and letting that go and moving away from. I hope this message serves you well. Please leave me a comment and let me know how this resonates with you. Again, I'm sorry about the lighting, but the next ones will be better. I do appreciate you being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day. I send you love and light.